Chair Yoga with Planet and Peace of Mind from our Adaptive Yoga collection. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. This class is part of the As You Are Yoga series from Planet and Peace of Mind by the Athenaeum Collection, LLC. My name is Marlo, and I'll be your guide today. The As You Are series is an invitation to roll out the mat exactly where you are. The only requirements are the desire to be present and to participate. This class can be completed in a seated or standing orientation. We will use a chair for support during this class. All of the poses can also be done from a standing position. You can use a countertop if you don't have a chair for support as well. In this class, we'll work through a gentle series of poses to help you move your body and awaken your energy. You can stand, sit on the ground, or sit in a chair for the entire class. There will be adaptive variations for each form of participation. If something doesn't feel comfortable, you can always return to mountain pose and recenter your focus on your breath and your intention. Yoga is for everyone, so join us as you are. Together, we'll walk through each pose. I'll explain what we're going to do, then I will show you what we're going to do, then we'll do it together so that everyone has the opportunity to hear, see, and do as they're learning this chair yoga class. So first, as we begin to set our intention, we will extend our arms out to the sides, bringing our palms to face forward. Then we'll inhale, rotate our palms up, and sweep our hands overhead. As we exhale, we'll bring our hands to prayer at heart center, and at that time, we'll take a moment to set an intention. Here, you can see an example of what I just described. So let's do this together now. Extend the hands out to T. Inhale the hands, bringing them to prayer overhead. Exhale, lower the hands to heart center. Set your intention for this class. Take a moment to appreciate that you're taking this time for yourself. Next, we'll work through the arms out pose. For this pose, you can choose to stand or sit on the floor or sit in a chair. I encourage you to do whichever variation works best for you. On your first inhale, you will extend your hands out to T. Then you'll turn the right palm up towards the sky and the left palm down towards the floor. We'll hold this pose for at least 3 seconds, whatever is comfortable for you. Then on your next inhale, you will be switching the positions of the hand. So now the left palm would face the sky and the right palm would face the floor. Here's an example of what this looks like. Now let's do it together. Hands out to T, right palm faces up, left palm faces down. When you're ready, rotate your hands and hold. So we'll take a few moments here. Work at your own pace. You don't have to keep up with the video example. Rotating through the right palm up, and then exhaling, switching to the left palm up. Ensure that you're maintaining a connection to your breath while practicing arms out. Whether you're standing or sitting, try to find a tall seat. Keeping the shoulders stacked over the hips. Keeping the gaze direct and forward. Gently moving from right hand facing up to left hand facing up. Drawing the shoulder blades back and together as you're holding the arms out in T. You can always take a pause and restart arms out pose. On your next exhale, you can lower the palms to your lap, and we'll begin to prepare for our next asana. Next, we'll work on the three-part breath, or Digra Swasam Pranayama. This can be done while standing or sitting. You will be placing one hand on your heart and one hand on your abdomen. As you inhale, you'll be filling the abdomen like a balloon. You should be able to feel this under your hand. Allow the breath to expand from the abdomen through the rib cage and finally up into the chest. Hold the breath for a small moment. When the lungs are completely full, then make a slow exhale. You can see in the video here, I have my left hand over my heart, my right hand over my abdomen. You can choose whichever hand placement, right or left, feels more comfortable and natural. Ensure that whether you're standing or sitting, your shoulders are stacked over the pelvis and you have a stable seat or stance. I invite you to close the eyes if that feels comfortable. If you're standing, you can always place your back against the wall for stability and support if you're going to close the eyes. You can see in the video, I'm working through the three-part breath. So let's do it together. Whether you're standing or sitting, place one hand on your heart and one hand on your abdomen. Inhale, filling the abdomen with air, allowing the breath to expand through the rib cage, through the diaphragm, filling the lungs, and finally filling the chest. Holding the breath at the top, and then exhaling slowly and releasing. I invite you to continue your Digra Pranayama at your own pace for the next few moments. Feel the breath move your hands as your belly, rib cage, and chest expand and shrink with every inhale and exhale. Take this time to allow your breath to find its own natural, comfortable rhythm in the three-part breath. On your next exhale, you can allow the hands to fall away from the heart and the abdomen into the lap as we prepare to move to our next pose, gentle hug. This pose can be done in a seated or standing position. You'll want to find stability in your stance or your seat. Then we're going to inhale your hands up overhead, interlace the fingers, then turn the palms towards the sky as you lift your palms higher. We'll start with an overhead stretch at the beginning of this practice. Then you'll exhale, release your hands out to either side at shoulder level with the palms facing forward. Then on your next inhale, cross the arms in front of the body, the left hand over the right, extend through the fingertips. As you exhale, you'll wrap the hands around your shoulders in a hug, keeping the arms crossed at the elbows. Inhale, uncross the arms in front of the midline of the body, and again extend them out at shoulder level, creating a T shape. Then we can exhale and repeat in the opposite direction. This time the right arm would cross over the left for the hug. So here you can see in the video an example of what I just described. So now we can do this together, starting with an overhead stretch. You'll want to take this overhead stretch between each set. So complete a left over right, then a right over left, and then you can take an overhead stretch. Let's begin. Inhale, hands at T. Sweep the hands over the head, lace the fingers, press the palms to the sky. Exhale as you release the hands down to your side after your stretch. Now cross the arms in front of the body, left over right. Wrap the arms around the shoulders. Give yourself a hug. Maintain shoulders stacked over pelvis. Uncross the arms at the midline and switch to the opposite side. Now the right arm crosses over the left arm at the front of the midline. Hug and release. Arms out to T. Now we'll want to start with an overhead stretch in between sets. You can begin to move at your own comfortable pace. You do not have to follow the pace of the video. Maintaining overhead stretches, lowering the arms down, inhaling the hands up overhead, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms to the sky for an overhead stretch, a tall, straight spine, shoulders over the pelvis. Exhale, release the hands to T. Cross the arms in front of the midline, left over right. Hug the body. Exhale, release the arms back to T, uncrossing at the midline. Cross again at the midline, right arm over left. Hug. Exhale, release the hands back to T. And again, you would start with an overhead stretch. Keep moving at your own comfortable pace, completing 2 more rounds with an overhead stretch in between. When you're ready to move to the next position, exhale, lower your hands to your lap. Next, we will begin our seated figure 4 pose. If standing figure 4 pose is within your practice, I encourage you to take that now, and you can move at your own comfortable pace. If you're in a chair, you will inhale as you lift and cross your right ankle over the left knee as you find a tall, straight spine, keeping the shoulders stacked over the pelvis. As you exhale, you can fold forward at the hips, and you can even lean your right forearm or elbow or hand into the right knee to deepen the stretch. When you're ready, you'll be able to exhale and release the right foot and leg back down to a neutral position in your seated position. On your next inhale, you'll cross the left ankle over the right knee. Exhale from the hips, fold forward. Again, you can use your hand or elbow to lean into that left knee to deepen the stretch through the outer thigh. Here you can see in the video, crossing the leg over, finding the forward fold, creating a little extra tension through the stretch of the figure 4 pose. Exhaling and releasing. Now the left foot comes over the right knee. We can deepen the stretch in the forward fold by placing a little bit of weight into the left knee. Exhale and release. So now we can do this together. So from your seated position, inhale, draw the right ankle over the left knee. Forward fold at the hips. You can lean into the right knee for extra stretch if it is comfortable. Inhale, return to a seated position, releasing the foot, drawing the opposite foot over the opposite knee, using the forearm or the elbow to create a little extra tension as you press. Take a moment Feel free to work through this at your own comfortable pace. You can just choose to move from right to left more rapidly, or if it feels more comfortable, you can choose to spend the next few minutes. We'll do about 2 minutes per side. You can hold an entire minute one side. Remember to stay connected to the breath. If you are holding one side for an extended period, now is the perfect time to switch to the opposite leg to hold for an equal minute. Now is the time to finish out your last series of this pose and come back to a neutral seated position, both feet on the floor. Or if you were using the standing figure four pose, now is the time to come out of that and return to a mountain pose. Taking your last exhales and preparing to transition. Next, we will work through seated cat-cows. If you would like to do cat-cow from a tabletop position, I invite you to do so. You can begin that now and work at your own comfortable pace through the cat-cows. From seated, you'll firmly plant your feet into the ground and find stability in your chair. You will inhale and draw your heart and chest forward. Then you can place your hands on the knees or even hold the edges of your chair for stability. As you arc the spine and draw your shoulder blades together. As you exhale, you're going to round out through the spine, pushing towards the back of your seat. Then you'll repeat these movements at your own comfortable pace. Inhaling, drawing the chest forward, arching through the spine. Exhaling, rounding through the shoulders, creating a round curve through the back, towards the back of the chair. Inhaling and exhaling at your own comfortable place. You do not need to turn your chair sideways. You can keep your chair exactly where you had it at the beginning of class. I have turned my chair sideways just so that you can see the angle of this pose. So let's go ahead and watch seated cat-cows now. Let's do them together now. As you inhale, draw the chest and the heart space forward. As you exhale, round out through the shoulders, through the spine, pressing towards the back of the chair. Inhale, draw the chest forward. Exhale, round out through the spine, pressing towards the back of the chair. I invite you now to work at your own comfortable pace, maintaining the breath through this pose, always inhaling forward, Exhaling, pressing back. Inhale, drawing forward with the heart space. Exhale, pressing back. We'll remain in seated cat cows or standing or from tabletop if that's your preference. So we'll remain here for a few moments, working at our own pace, bringing awareness to our own natural rhythm of breath. As you're working through your cat cows, maintain an awareness of the natural rhythm of your breath. And I also invite you to keep your intention at the forefront of your mind as you're working through this adaptive yoga class. Remembering to be patient with yourself and to give yourself appreciation for showing up no matter what the day is presented. You've taken the time for yourself. Taking a moment to inhale 2 more times and exhale 2 more times. Then we'll meet in a neutral position as we prepare to transition to the next pose. Next, we will do cow-faced arms. Again, you can do this in a standing position or a seated position. You may also choose to sit cross-legged or in cow-face pose with the knees stacked and crossed on the ground. If you would like to choose standing or seated with cow face pose, I invite you to go ahead and take those now and work at your own comfortable pace. For seated cow face arms, you will sit across your chair with your chest facing the back of the chair so that your arms have free movement behind you. You'll inhale your hands out to the sides and then rotate the palms behind you. As you exhale, you'll bend your right elbow, bringing the right hand to the lower mid back. As you inhale, you'll extend the left arm up overhead. Exhale and hinge from the left elbow to point your fingers down your spine. Then, to safely exit cow-faced arms, on your next exhale, you'll begin to straighten the right elbow, keeping the right palm facing back as the arm is extended out to the side. Hold the arms there. On your next inhale, straighten the left elbow, drawing the left hand towards the sky. Keep the shoulder neutral by keeping the left palm facing right towards the midline of the body until your arm is perpendicular to the floor. Then exhale, rotate the palm to face the back as you lower the left arm to the side. Both arms are now extended in external rotation out to the side with the palms facing back. Part 3 of cow-faced arms. Now you've done cow-face arms on one side and safely exited the pose. So now you'll exhale, bend the left elbow, and bring the left hand to the low back, the palm facing away from the body. Then, as you inhale, the right hand up overhead, bend at the elbow, and point the right fingers down the spine. The palm of the hand will face your back. When you're ready, exhale. Straighten the left elbow, keep the left palm facing the back of the room. Inhale, the right hand up overhead. Keep the shoulder neutral by facing the palm to the midline of the body, facing left. Exhale and lower the right arm out to the side. Externally rotate the shoulder so that the right palm also faces the back. Then inhale and rotate the palms to the front and release the arms in a neutral lap position. Now I will play all 3 videos in sequence so you can see this pose from beginning to end. I have divided it into 3 parts so that you can enter the pose, exit the pose, and re enter on the opposite side safely. So here's part one. Here's part two, exiting safely. And here's part three, the opposite side. Let's start with part one. We will work on phase part one of this pose. We will hold this pose for a few moments, finding comfortable tension and stretch, and then we'll move to the opposite side. Let's begin. Inhale the hands out to T, palms facing back. Exhale, bring the right hand to the low mid back. Inhale, left hand up overhead behind the back. See if you can bring the fingertips to touch behind the back. I will replay the video so that if you need to see it again, you can. Palms back. The right hand meets the low back, palm facing out. The left hand is overhead, bend at the elbow, bring the fingers down the spine. Try to connect the fingertips of both hands together at the mid back. Once you have your hands behind your back, you can leave them there, finding a comfortable point of stretch and tension. If you experience pain, please release the pose and try again without forcing the hands to meet behind the back. Don't press as hard. Next, we'll begin to release the pose, bending the right arm out, inhaling the left hand up, coming to T. We can watch that again if you need to see it again. So release the right elbow, palm back. Release the left arm, palm facing in, then out to T, and then palms face forward. When your palms are facing forward, this means you are ready to transition into the opposite side. So let's begin. You'll have your arms out, neutral facing forward, T. Exhale, rotate the palms back and bring the left hand to the lower back. Bring the right hand up on an inhale. Exhale, bend the elbow, bring the fingertips down the spine. Try to connect the fingertips behind the back. Only stretch to a comfortable tension. If this is too much, do not reach for the fingertips. When you're ready, you can exhale, release the left arm out to the side. Inhale the right arm up overhead, exhaling down to T, and finding a neutral position, hands in the lap. We'll take a moment here. You can go through this series one more time at your own comfortable pace. Finding neutral T position, release the arms into the lap, and we will transition to the next pose, cactus arms. Cactus arms can be completed in a standing or seated position. You'll begin by creating cactus arms by lifting the arms straight overhead, and then as you exhale, you'll bend both arms at the elbows, creating about a 90-degree angle as you lower the shoulder blades and draw them together. You're aiming to make the shape of a goalpost with your body and your arms. Inhale, I want you to find length and strength through the spine. Attempt to stack the shoulders over the pelvis. As you exhale, you'll rotate the right shoulder and bring the right palm of the hand down, then back towards the back of the room. So left fingers remain pointing towards the sky, and now right fingers point down towards the ground. As you inhale, you'll rotate the right shoulder back forward, bringing the right palm of the hand to face the front of the room, and the fingertips point again to the sky. Then you'll hold at cactus pose. This is cactus arm on the right, and then we will transition to cactus on the left. You will do the same thing. As you exhale from cactus arms, you will spin the left arm down, pointing the fingers towards the floor. So now, right arm points to the sky, left arm points to the floor. Inhale, draw the left arm so that fingers point back towards the sky and return back to cactus arms. I'll show you the video for both sides now. So now, make goalposts with your arms, 90-degree angles in the elbows. Exhale, rotate the right arm so fingers point to the ground. Inhale, hand back up. When you're ready, exhale, left fingertips to the ground. Inhale, left fingertips back up, cactus arms. I invite you now to work through this series of right and left cactus arms at your own comfortable pace. You can move quickly as long as you're maintaining your breath, and if at any point you need to bring your arms to neutral and allow them to rest in your lap, I invite you to do so. If this becomes too intense, you can also take a moment back into mountain pose and bring awareness back into your breath. So again, moving at your own pace. Proceed with cactus arms, oscillating from right to left. I encourage you to draw the shoulder blades together as you work from side to side, attempting to keep those shoulders stacked over the spine, keeping the shoulders engaged and the muscles of the arms tight and also engaged. Draw the belly button to the spine to keep the core engaged as well. Maintain a neutral gaze forward, keeping the neck in a neutral, center-focused position. Go through one more round, completing a right and left side, and then we will transition to our next pose. Next, we will move into reverse prayer pose. For this, you will inhale and place your hands parallel to the floor on either side of the body, creating a T shape. As you exhale, rotate the arms so that the palms face behind you, bending through the elbows. Inhale, stack the shoulders over the spine, creating length and space through the torso. Exhale, bring both the elbows behind the lower back. When you can touch your fingertips at the lower back, you can either make fists and let your knuckles meet, or you can bring the palms together with the fingertips pointing towards the sky to achieve reverse prayer. Take a moment here and you can figure out which formation for the hands feels most comfortable for you. When you're ready to release this pose, you will release your hands back into knuckles or fingertips touching. Then you can straighten through the elbows, bringing the arms back out to the side one at a time. Keep the palms facing the back. Once both of your arms are out to T position and straightened, then you can rotate your palms forward and then inhale the hands up overhead into prayer. Then you can exhale and bring prayer to heart center in front of you. Now I will show you the video of this. Okay, let's work through reverse prayer pose together. Your arms are out to T, palms facing back. As you bend through the elbows, bring the hands behind the lower back. Take a moment to figure out which position of the hands is most comfortable for you, fists, or draw the palms together and point the fingers towards the sky for prayer. Hold this as long as is comfortable. And then when you're ready to exit, rotate one arm at a time, unbending through the elbow, coming into T position. And finally, rotate the palms forward after both arms are out to T. Now I invite you to take your time working through this pose, bringing both hands behind the back. You can start with just attempting to touch the fingertips together, or you can choose to specifically just hold with fists with knuckles pointing together and release. And then on another attempt, go in and try to come into reverse prayer pose. So I invite you now, take the next few moments here, play with this pose, find what feels good for your body. And as a reminder, this pose can be completed in a standing position, a seated in a chair position, or you can sit directly on the floor. Whatever variation is right for your body is what I encourage you to practice. If you feel any uncomfortable tension through the shoulders or through the upper or lower back, take a moment, find awareness in your breath, and release the stretch so that it's not quite so intense, and see if you can find a point of comfortable stretching. Again, if this pose is uncomfortable in any way on the shoulders or lower back, I invite you to return to mountain pose and to reconnect with your breath for the next few moments. When you're ready, on your next inhale, go ahead and release reverse prayer pose, and we will transition into our next pose. Backwards hand clasp behind the back. For this pose, you will rise your hands up overhead, inhale your hands in prayer. As you exhale, reach your arms out to a T shape with the palms facing the ground. Slowly and with control, bring your arms behind your back, similar to prayer pose like we just did. Keep the palms neutral, then let the palms meet and interlace your fingers together. Then bend through the elbows, clasp the fingers together, interlace the fingers. Once your fingers will become interlaced, then you'll turn your palms down towards the ground. And if it's comfortable, you can extend through the elbows, creating straight arms behind the backs with the fingers laced. Draw the shoulder blades closer together and open through the front of the chest, open through the heart space. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Now let's do it together. From hands at heart center, extend the hands out to the side and behind the back. Clasp the fingers with bent elbows. Press press the palms down to the ground if you can. If you can't, you can leave the palms facing the sky and just draw the backs of the hands towards the ground. The idea is to find a nice deep stretch through the shoulders and to open through the heart space. Take a moment here, work at your own comfortable pace, drawing down the arms, focusing on really drawing those shoulder blades together and down, finding an opening across the clavicle, across the chest space. Inhaling deeply as the shoulders are stacked above the pelvis. And then finding one more opportunity to stretch. Bring the hands behind the back. Inhale and exhale. Draw the shoulder blades together. Reach the hands towards the ground. And when you're ready, exhale, release the hands to a neutral position as we transition to the next pose. Our next pose will be a forward fold, working our way towards warrior three. So you will want to have if you're going to be standing, you'll want to come behind the back of your chair. If you are going to remain in a seated position, then I encourage you to stack your shoulders above your pelvis, create length through the spine, and as you inhale, plant your feet firmly into the ground. If you're in a chair, you may want to hold on to the edges of your chair. If you're in a wheelchair or anything, just make sure that the brakes are on so that you have a stable, immobile seat. And then as you inhale, you'll stack your shoulders over your pelvis, creating length in the spine. And as you exhale, you can hinge from the hip space, maintaining a straight spine for as long as you can. And then as you exhale, you can forward fold down over the lap, finding a point of comfortable tension, but never stretching to a point of pain. If this is uncomfortable, you can always place a pillow or a bolster in the lap and lean onto that for an extra sense of support as well. So if you're going to remain seated, I encourage you to follow those instructions at this time, take your own pace, and work through finding a comfortable seated forward fold. If you're going to be standing, you'll position yourself behind your chair. Please confirm that your chair is stable and will not slide away from you. I encourage you to push your chair up against the wall so that's butted up against something stable that will not move. My chair is moving in my video so that you could see the correct angle. So again, just always make sure your chair or support item is stabilized and not slipping out from under you. You'll place your hands on the back of the chair and slowly begin to step away from the back of the chair. You'll find a forward fold by hinging at the hips, straightening your arms, and keeping your hands connected to the chair. I encourage you to think about keeping your hips over the ankles so that you have a healthy 90-degree angle bend. If you need to bend through the knees to reduce the intensity of the stretch, I also encourage you to do so. So here's a video example of finding a forward fold from standing with the support of a chair. Take your time, work with your prop, and ensure that it is stable, please. As you exhale, you can forward fold from the hip. Try to create length and strength through the spine. Try to keep a straight, neutral spine. And try to remember to stack the hips over the ankles so there's no hyperextension through the knees. If you need to bend your knees to reduce the intensity of the stretch, I invite you to do so. So starting from a standing position, inhaling, stacking the shoulders over the hips, and then as you exhale, forward fold, pressing the hands into the back of the chair for stability. Stack the hips over the ankles, bend through the knees if it feels right. Take this time to work on your forward fold at your own pace. If you need to, stand up, adjust your hips, adjust your shoulders, and try a forward fold again. I encourage you to do that as needed. If you're in a seated position and you're not standing behind your chair, you can inhale back to a upright position. Take a breath, bring your awareness back to a natural rhythm of breathing. And then as you exhale, fold over again onto your support item or onto your lap, moving again at your own comfortable pace, entering and exiting the forward fold as needed. When you're ready, inhale back to an upright position as we begin to transition into our Warrior Three. For a supported Warrior Three, if you're going to remain completely seated throughout the entire practice, I would encourage you at this point to continue working on your forward folds at your own pace, transitioning between forward folds to periods of mountain pose where you reconnect with your intention and reconnect with your breath. If you are going to remain seating, please move forward at your own pace with forward folds and mountain pose at this time. If you're going to work on supported Warrior Three from a standing position, you will inhale and create a tall, straight spine, stacking the shoulders over the pelvis. As you exhale, you will hinge from the hips like your forward fold. Keep your hands connected to the back of your chair for stabilization. On your next inhale, lift your right leg behind you, outstretched straight if you can, creating a T shape with the body. As you exhale, you'll lower the leg, reconnecting with the ground. Then you can repeat this on the opposite side. On your next inhale, lift the left leg out to a T position behind you, keeping a straight back, keeping the hands planted on the chair for stability. Exhale, lower the left leg back down to the ground, and you would have just finished Warrior Three on the right and left side. Let's watch the video to see this in action. Now let's do this together. Supported Warrior Three. From your forward fold, inhale, lift the right leg behind you, holding on to the back of the chair. Exhale, lower the leg. Inhale, lift the opposite leg. You can work at this at your own pace. You can either work through an upright position, forward fold, move into Warrior Three on the right, move into Warrior Three on the left, release, and then come upright into mountain. You can do this as a flow series if that feels comfortable for you. Or if it feels more stable to hold the pose for a little bit longer, I encourage you to take that route where you can start in a forward fold behind your chair, slowly lift your right leg, hold Warrior Three with the leg extended behind you. Take in 3 deep breaths, and then exhale the right leg back down to the ground. Transition to the opposite side. Inhale the left leg behind you, maintaining contact with the back of the chair for support. Hold Warrior Three with the left leg behind you. Take 3 deep breaths. Exhale, lower the left leg. So now take the next few moments to work through Warrior Three, in whichever variation suits your body best. And after your last time completing Warrior Three on the left side, please return back to a tall standing position or a comfortable seat in your seated position, stacking the shoulders over the pelvis, returning back to neutral, returning back to mountain pose. Reconnect into the breath for just a moment. Taking this moment to recenter, reconnect into the breath, and to pause. On your next inhale, bring your attention back to the room, back to the practice. We will transition into our next pose, supported warrior one pose. If you're going to remain completely seated throughout the practice, I invite you to firmly plant your left foot while extending the right foot behind you at the side of your chair for a seated warrior one. Then you can repeat this on the opposite side by planting the right foot in, extending the left foot out to the side of the chair behind you, and taking seated warrior one. If this is not an option for you, I again invite you to reconnect with your breath into seated mountain pose. You can return to any of the previous poses we've done in class, or again, you can come back to mountain pose and take a moment of reflection, tune back into your mantra or your intention that you set at the beginning of practice. For those standing and using the support of a chair for supported warrior one, you will start from a supported forward fold. From there, you will step your right foot forward into a lunge. You can place the weight into the right foot and keep the left foot extended back with the toes connected to the ground. You'll use the chair to find the right depth of stretch within your warrior one. When you're ready, you'll step the left foot forward to meet the right. As you inhale, you'll find length through the body and torso, and as you exhale, you can step the right foot back to warrior one on the left. You can oscillate between warrior one on the right and left side, moving at your own comfortable pace. In future classes, we will be able to take the last three poses and flow them into a series, going from standing to forward fold, to warrior three, and to warrior one. Here's a video of warrior one on both sides. Now let's work through them together. From forward fold, step the right foot forward, bend through the right knee, press through the left toes as the left leg is extended back. Keep the hands on the back of the chair for stability. When you're ready, inhale, step the left foot forward and the right foot back. Switching sides, warrior one on the opposite. Bend through the left knee, extend through the right leg. We can watch this one more time together. You can begin to move at your own comfortable pace if you're ready. Finding warrior one on the right. Bend through the right knee, extend through the left leg, hands on the chair for support. Switch sides. Right knee, right leg extends back, left knee is bent. Take your own time here, working through Warrior One. I encourage you to hold the pose for a few moments on each side, finding the right stretch through the body. Try to keep the shoulders stacked above the pelvis. The gaze should be forward and neutral. The further the extended leg is away from the body, the deeper the stretch, so you can bend deeper into the front knee. Moving at your own pace, maintaining a breath, inhaling as you step the foot back, exhaling as you step the foot forward to exit the pose. We'll take one more moment here. You can choose to move quickly from right to left or take 30 seconds to hold the right and 30 seconds to hold the left. Beginning now. When you're ready, go ahead and wrap up your final pose and find either a tall standing mountain pose or comfortable mountain pose in a seated position as we transition to our next pose, supported tree pose. If you're going to remain completely seated throughout the practice, I invite you to inhale, sweep your hands up over your head, exhale, and stretch your arms out wide like the branches of a tree. Extend through the fingertips. Inhale, bring your hands to prayer above the head. Exhale, lower your hands to prayer at heart center. You can choose to do this inhale, open to tree and hold, or you can move through a flow as you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, hands up overhead to tree. So choose what works better for you to remain stationary in tree or to work through that as a flow for the next few moments. For those standing, go ahead and orient yourself so that the chair back is next to the left side of your body. You'll place your left hand on the back of the chair. Find stability through the chair and stability through the left foot. As you inhale, you'll point your right foot out to the side. As you exhale, you'll bring the sole of the right foot to meet the ankle bone of the left leg. As you inhale, you can raise the right foot to the calf or the inner thigh. Make sure you do not place the sole of the right foot on the inner left knee. It needs to be below or above the knee. Work through these variations, find what works best for you. Your right arm can then, if you're stable, can be extended out to the side and up overhead and can create branches of your tree. You can also keep your right hand at your hip for more balanced support. If you need extra stability, you can turn and face the back of your chair and complete this with both hands on the back of the chair, just working with the legs. When you're ready to exit supported tree pose, you will lower your arms to neutral and then you can release the right foot back down to the ground, returning to a neutral mountain pose. So let's work on supported tree from the left side from a standing position. Here's the video. Now let's do it together. Find stability, point the right foot, exhale to the leg. Inhale the hand up overhead, creating tree branches. Work through any variation of foot placement, either the upper thigh, the calf, or the ankle. Keeping the left hand planted and stable on the back of the chair, The right hand again can go up on an inhale overhead to create branches, or it can remain planted and connected into the right hip. Again, if you need more stability, you can put both hands on the back of the chair and only work with the legs. So take the next minute or two to work through supported tree pose. If you're remaining in a seated position, again, you could be working through stationary tree, just holding tree, keeping the shoulder blades taut together, arms out, open, extended, gaze is forward and neutral, shoulders are stacked over the pelvis. Or if you're working through a flow in seated tree, you can inhale the hands up overhead, exhale, extend the fingers out to the side, creating branches. Inhale, sweep the hands, coming to prayer overhead. Exhale, bring hands to heart center in prayer. So there is a variation for everyone in supported tree pose, whether you're standing or sitting. And if you're standing, there are multiple variations you could be taking at this time. We have about a minute more to work with our tree pose, finding balance, keeping the breath neutral, the gaze forward. Shoulders are stacked over pelvis in any variation of this pose. And then when you're ready, slowly begin to exhale, lower the right hand if it's extended, lower both hands if they're extended, and begin to release the right foot if it is at the thigh, calf, or ankle bone. The foot could also remain out to the side if all three of these other variations are not comfortable. Next, we'll move to supported tree on the right. So we will do the same thing, but simply on the opposite side of the body. So you'll want to orient yourself so that your right side of the body is aligned with the chair. You can hold the back of the chair with the right hand. You'll find stability through the right leg. And then you'll inhale, point the left leg out to the side. Again, if you felt uncomfortable with any of the other leg positionings of tree pose, you can always just leave the foot pointed out to the side and work on gaining balance and stability there. If you're seated, again, working through stationary tree pose or working through a flow. If you did the one during last time, I encourage you to try the opposite during this side of supported tree pose. So again, let's watch the video together. Make sure your chair is stabilized and won't move away from you. Extend the foot out to the side. Inhale, sole the foot to the leg. Find whichever variation works for you. Inhale, hand overhead for tree branches, or hand is at the hip for stability. When you're ready to exhale, lower the left hand down and release the leg. So let's move at our own pace, finding whichever variation of supported tree works for you. Always remembering, no matter what variation, you're keeping the shoulder blades together, you're keeping the shoulders stacked over the spine, you're keeping a neutral forward gaze. Avoid placing the foot on the inner knee, always planting it above or below. You can also use the ankle or keep the foot firmly connected into the ground. We'll take 1 minute of silence to work through whichever variation of tree is best for you. And slowly preparing to exit our tree pose. On your next exhale, release the leg down to the ground, release the left arm back to neutral. I invite everyone, no matter what variation you are taking, to return to mountain pose, whether seated, in a chair, or on the ground, or standing. Stack the shoulders over the pelvis. Allow the arms to remain neutral at the sides. You can hold on to the chair for stability. I invite you to close the eyes for a moment, reconnect into the breath, and prepare to transition to the cool down section of this chair yoga class. We've made it to the last section of class. I would love everyone to take a moment to appreciate the fact that they made it here onto the chair, the mat, made it to class today. So take a moment to appreciate yourself. Give yourself a little moment of gratitude. At this time, I encourage everyone to take a seated position. You can remain standing if you do not want to use a chair or do not have access to a chair at the moment. We'll begin our cool down by finding a deep inhale and exhale, reconnecting to the breath. Then inhale, extend through the spine, make sure the shoulders are over the pelvis. And as you exhale, then you'll lean your right ear towards your right shoulder. Keep the shoulder blades down, relaxed. Draw the right ear as close to the right shoulder as you can without lifting the shoulder to meet the ear. So, really, the ear, the neck is doing all the work. You should feel a slight stretch on the outer left side of the neck. Then you'll inhale back to center and exhale as you lower the left ear towards the left shoulder. Again, keeping relaxed shoulders, avoiding letting the shoulders meet the ear. We don't want the shoulders to rise up. We want the ear and side of the head to meet the shoulder. Finding the stretch to the opposite now, the right side of the neck. Inhale back to center, and then we'll move into some shoulder rolls. I'll have you first inhale, lift the shoulders towards the ears this time. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down away from the body, coming back to neutral. And then inhaling the shoulders up to the ears again. As you exhale, roll the shoulders forward and down into a forward roll. And then when you're ready, you can inhale your hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center in front of your chest. So let's take a look at how our cool down will go. So let's work through our cool down together. Inhale the head up. Exhale the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale the left ear to the left shoulder. Inhale the shoulders up, roll them down and away as you exhale. Inhale the shoulders up, roll them forward, down, and back. I encourage you to go through this series of stretches, taking your time, moving with intention, moving with control. If you feel any tightness or tension in the neck, take a moment to breathe into the stretch. If the shoulder rolls are where you're feeling the most relief, I encourage you to focus on those. Inhaling up, exhaling down and back. Inhaling up, exhaling forward and down. So just really taking a moment to work with the shoulders, work with the neck and the spine. Take any small movements that feel right to just work out any remaining or lingering tension or tightness you're feeling through the body. This cool down is specifically for you, whether you're standing, sitting on the ground, or sitting in a chair. You can focus on the parts of your body that might just need a little extra love and attention these last few moments. While you're working through your cool down, listening to your body, listening to where you need a little extra love and support, I also invite you to remember the intention you set at the beginning of class. Remember what was on your mind. Bring it back to the present moment. Hold your intention in your heart. breathing through each one of these stretches, taking just a few more minutes, paying a little extra special attention to the neck, the shoulders, finding full release, full relaxation, bringing the body and the breath back to natural positioning, natural breath, natural pace. Then when you're ready, you can bring your hands to prayer at heart center. We will meet with hands at heart center. Taking your time, keeping your intention in your mind. With the hands at heart center, take one final deep breath in and exhale. Class has ended. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. Our As You Are series welcomes everyone to join us on the mat. You can join us in your pajamas or your old sweats. We're here to celebrate the moment, as you are. This class was designed to be in a format where you can see what we're going to be doing next, hear instructions, and then do them together so we can hear, see, and do to learn something new. It's also part of our As You Are series and our adaptive yoga collection where we're trying to make yoga accessible to everyone. So if you liked this class, please check out the other classes we have available. We love to see you on the mat again. Planet and Peace of Mind is a project by the Athenaeum Collection. Thanks for being here.